Hi everyone. It is my 2-year anniversary of my breast cancer diagnosis. And I am in the middle of the Charles River in Boston. Oh my. It's weird. This anniversary is much weirder than the 1 year. I think 1 year out, you're still processing all this stuff. And you don't really have time to digest really everything that's happened to you. For me, at least, being 2 years out, I'm fairly confident there's no more cancer left in my body. I've been through PT. I've healed from my double mastectomy and my reconstruction revision after that, which granted was just in the end of January, and it is July 8th. July 7th, 2 years ago, was when I went in for all, actually, I don't even remember. I remember I was there. Well, it's so funny because I'd have to go look at my first vlog, but honestly, I don't like looking at my first vlog. I believe my July 7th was when I went to have all my biopsy stuff done. Actually, I know it was because I looked at pictures this morning. And then July 9th was when I got the phone call. So July 7th, I think, is when they told me that the nurse or sonographer, whatever, is it sonographer, told me that I wasn't going to die from this. Clearly I didn't, because here I am out in the middle of the water hoping not to get hit by rushing rowers that are passing by. And there's just, yeah, and then they called on that Friday at 5, after hours, which is not a good sign, and had me on the phone with the oncologist within a half an hour. And it was just so much, so fast. And the interesting thing about the journey, obviously you can rewind 160 times or whatever the heck number of vlogs I'm at, is that there's just so many moving pieces. And in the beginning you go slow because you physically have to. If you've had surgery or whatever treatment you've had, you just have to go slow. And because your body just can't keep up like it used to. And I've done 4 vlogs about brain fog, and I've deleted all of them. And after 2 years worth of vlogs, I had never deleted a vlog until the past, I'd say 2 weeks. I haven't posted in about 3 weeks. And it's just been a really weird place. So join along with me for my weird place, because if you get it, you get it. That once I hit the 2-year mark, which I guess in theory is tomorrow, sort of, kind of, but it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Well, it's supposed to rain today, but I got out early here. And I wanted to come out here to step into my old self and my new self. Because I used to come out here, first of all, I used to have a very large fear of water as a kid, which is funny because I grew up on an island. Had a very large fear of water. I have a life jacket on, clearly, so I have less of a fear. Although 5 minutes ago, before I started this vlog, I lost my sunglasses somewhere down there. And I'm really hoping I don't drop my phone and do the same thing. They were really nice sunglasses, too. And I had them in my mouth as I was taking my stuff out, and I turned and whoop, they plopped out of my mouth, and they're someplace in the middle of the Charles right now. Wow, the water is so close to the end of the kayak. I hope I'm not sinking. There's no water inside of the boat. Anyhow, but the interesting thing is I haven't come here because it's so vast. I'm just going to show you around for a second. Whoops, I don't want to lose my paddle. I have to slow down and pay attention. So this is Boston. There's I don't know how far I've floated, but the Citgo sign should be back there. It's really sunny, so I have a hard time seeing. Cool architecture over there. There's the Royal Sonesta, I think. But I thought it was on the other side. Anyhow, This side is Cambridge, and the other side is Boston. If you look down there, there's like sailboats and stuff, and the Prudential building is behind me, whatever that rectangular building is. I don't even know what that's called. But it's just really pretty. Where they do the fireworks and stuff is right down there. And it's just a lot of memories. I've been in Boston for, 13 years now. And I've been through a divorce being here, and a pandemic, and a cancer diagnosis, and I have wonderful memories here, and I have not so great memories here. There's a boat coming. That means I'm going to hit waves, so join me. It's just a lot of reflecting. And when I dropped my sunglasses in the water a few minutes ago, it was like I just stopped and I cried. And not a hard cry, it was pretty short. But I've been through so much stuff. And I have a picture of me and my kids when we went out. I asked them to come kayaking with me here before my surgery. My surgery wasn't until August. It was about a month after, or 3 weeks after. No, more than that. My surgery was August 20th. I got diagnosed July 9th. You hear the boat? Here. Isn't that pretty? Say hello to the strange boat people. But I like coming out here because there's waves. Not big ones, just little ones. So I have to be aware to be balanced here as I'm doing this. But I came out here with my kids because I thought that might be the last time I would be kayaking with them, ever. When you get a cancer diagnosis, you don't get your stage right away. You don't find out all the information right away. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if it's not a big deal and it's a matter of just a short surgery, or if you're going to need to have chemo and lose your hair. I found a picture this morning in my phone when I was looking at the timeline of all the cancer stuff that had happened, and I dated the days of what my boobs looked like. After biopsies, your boobs are pretty bruised. And it was interesting to look back at what my old boobs used to look like, because I forgot. And what's interesting is that my left boob, which was my better boob, the one that did not have as big a tumor, here come the waves, hang on. Woohoo! They're not very big at this point. I took a picture. I would date them. Ooh, see? Here we go. I would date them. And I also took a picture of myself in front of my shower curtain. And I remember using that picture on some social media something. It might have been the Facebook page. And my face looks beet red. It's just that it looks really red. It's not sunburn. I'm just hot. It's wicked hot. It's 85. But I took a picture of me and I put hair day 4. Because at the time, I guess my hair's pretty long now too, but my hair was pretty long. And I didn't know if I was going to have chemo, and I just assumed that I would need chemo, and I assumed I would lose my hair. I think you just associate, you have cancer, you lose your hair. That's just what happens. And those of you that have been watching all this big journey with me know that, there's a lot of assumptions about cancer, and many of them are off. No two journeys are the same. I didn't have chemo. I didn't have radiation. I did have a double mastectomy, and I did have the reconstruction surgery to fix my left side. And it was even just interesting looking at the sides of my torso, because they don't look like that anymore. They were just smooth before, and I had a bunch of lymph nodes removed, 6 on one side and I think 2 on the other. But it's funny because out of all the stuff with the surgery on the sides, I think it's the lymph node dissection that had most of an impact on the sides. But at this point, the scars are what they are. They're getting lighter. I've been using vitamin E oil and massaging it into my scars, which apparently I was supposed to have been doing a long time ago, but maybe I just forgot or whatever. But the scars are getting lighter like any other scars do. And I will have tattooing done. I'm not going to have nipples like made to put on my boobs. I'm not doing that. And I'll get into all that as it comes, but today's just kind of about the 2-year mark. And I guess fear. Because I haven't been, like, if you visit Boston at any point, except I guess if you're coming from the airport, but if you're coming from like the Thruway or 93 or something, there's a point where you're on the highway and then all of a sudden it's like you go over a little hill and like it just opens up and you see the whole skyline here, like in front of you. And you're like, oh, it's Boston. And if you're a tourist, you're like, oh, it's Boston. You know, what fun things are we going to be doing today? And as there's a duck boat. I don't know if you can see that. There's a duck boat that's over there. I am going to paddle closer to the duck boats. Those are fun to go on if you haven't done a duck boat ride ever. But what I thought this time as I was going over the little hill out of habit was, oh yeah, I have to watch out for the exit to get to MGH, because I associate now going into Boston as going to MGH and going to whatever doctor I happen to be going to that day. I can't remember the last time I went into Boston for like fun. Like something, you know, well, social. I'm on my own, but I mean something extracurricular, I guess. So it was just, I didn't cry. It was just a processing thing to come here because I wanted to come here. My fear was, in order to kayak here on the Charles, you have to get into the kayak from the dock. And I have had a lot of issues with my arms and my upper body. And I put on a shit ton of weight after being on the meds. I'm on tamoxifen. I had my 22nd Lupron injection and my 4th Zometa injection or infusion, and those are finishing up soon. I have 2 more Luprons left, and then we see what happens. And then I have 2 more Zometas left. Those are spaced 6 months apart. My joints are still very stiff from the Zometa. Like it's hard for me to grip, which is also why I was like, maybe I shouldn't go kayaking. So I'm taking breaks and being careful with my hands so that I can like get back to where I need to go, because I'm like in the middle of nowhere. Not nowhere, but I'm in the middle of the Cambridge right now, or the Charles. I always confuse those two. I'm in the middle of the Charles right now. I kind of been sort of in the middle of Cambridge too. Anyway, so I didn't come out here because I didn't think I'd be able to get into the kayak from the dock. You have to, like, I mean, they help you, of course. I rented. I don't own a kayak, but I rented. And they help you. But I was worried that I didn't have the upper body strength to put myself into the kayak and certainly get myself out of it. Though I have, like, not gracefully gotten out of kayak before. So I'm not as much concerned about getting out as I was getting in. Just keeping an eye out for rowers, because I have to, there's like boat traffic here, so if you do kayak here, you have to be aware of like sailboats and other stuff coming your way, because kayakers I think have the least right of way out of everyone. Yeah, so so just like when this is the vlog I erased, I had made an appointment at a place, I don't even remember now what it's called. If you're local, it's in Woburn. Lady Grace. Lady Grace is a place that does bra fittings for breast cancer survivors. When I called, I didn't get the best vibe from them. I had a feeling like they mostly work with people who have not had reconstruction. And I actually have to cancel my appointment anyway because of work reasons. Look, they're rowers. I don't know if you can hear them. Row. I've been coming here for years and I've never seen rowers on the water, but I don't usually paddle out this far. Anyway, I need to cancel my appointment anyway, but I am ready to make an appointment to get fitted for a bra because I have no idea what size I am, and I don't mind. It's still a little weird, but I don't mind my boobs, my foobs, as much as I used to. So, yeah, steps. So I was nervous about calling Lady Grace, and I saw the number and I plugged it into my phone, and then I was like, do I hit the button to call? And I just like, boop, once you hit the button, and I called and set up the appointment and stuff. So at least I did that, which will make the second time that I call like easier. And I'm kind of intentionally talking slow, A, to pay attention to what's happening around me, and B, to kind of think clearly. I've been off tamoxifen, by the way, for a week. That was the gift that my oncology nurse gave me. Also, another vlog that I erased. I had been having a lot of side effects. Once I mentioned my helix piercing. I don't know why that was like a thing. I just think it's cool. Like, I didn't do it to be self-harming. But I guess there was a concern because of the fact that I tore my retina, and they don't know if that's because of the tamoxifen or not. Tamoxifen increases your risk of having cataracts, but I'm kind of young. Oh my gosh, how old am I? 51? Is that right? Yes, I'm 51. That's sad. You have to think. I'm 51. I don't feel 51, but I'm 51. I'm young to have my retina tear, and I started seeing some more floaters in my left eye. My right eye is the one that had the tear. I should be wearing sunglasses, but they're down there in the water someplace. I'm hoping some seagull just like randomly comes by and like thinks it's a fish and like picks it up and drops it right back in my kayak. I have faith that might actually happen, because weirder things have happened to me. Anyhow, so that and my overall mood and not finding joy in things, like not necessarily being depressed, just not finding joy in stuff or happiness. She said, I think it's time to take a vacation from the tamoxifen for a little bit. My oncotype score was low. The oncotype score is the calculation that you get after you have your tumor back from pathology to see like what it's, how it's composed, and it's the whole story, whatever. They plug in all these numbers into this cancer calculator and come up with an oncotype score, and mine was 7, which is very low. I think it's out of 100, so which is why I didn't need chemo. Having chemo would not have reduced any risk of anything in my case, and I had a double mastectomy, so there is no breast tissue left. I'm super thirsty, so I need to finish up here. I think the sun's finally kind of coming out. We're supposed to get thunderstorms, but it's been kind of like one big thunderstorm for the past 2 years of rediscovering life, friends, yourself. It's like everything just kind of starts over again with this new body that you have. And it's not just like physical, it's mental too. I'm so much more like, I started getting this pain on the way in today underneath my rib, and I'm like, maybe that's a sign I shouldn't go. My body's telling me like that something's hurting and I shouldn't go. But it went away, and I think it was just because I had Dunkin' Donuts for breakfast, which I don't usually do. And then it took me forever to find parking here because there's construction and crap. And I'm like, oh my God, like I just want to get here. Like something's trying to stop me from coming. And I'm like, no, I need to come here. I just need to come here. Have you ever come down to Boston, by the way? Like if you come here, like you'll get what I mean. It's just, ooh, waves. It's a magical place. I love living here. Anyway, so I actually drove, I think, on a sidewalk at one point to find parking, and I saw the race. I'm like, $47 for 3 hours, but on the weekends it's only $12. But I couldn't find parking, and I'm like, well, what do I do? Like, it's like life telling me not to come, and I just called the kayak place, and they're like, I don't know, and then she gave me some tips on where to park on the street, which is like kind of funny parking on the street in Boston, because that just doesn't happen. But then I drove on a sidewalk, kind of, sort of, followed an Uber driver, and like found the parking garage. Got out and try not to think too much, and I I watched some videos this morning to remind me how to get into a kayak from a dock. And the guy there, like, I didn't want to weird him out or anything, but I did want him to be aware that, like, I need help. So, he gave me the oar, walked down. Of course, like, I've gained a lot of weight, so, like, putting in a life jacket is a different experience because I have to loosen it a lot. I have to say, though, that I don't know what is the root of this, but I am down 8 pounds. I could only guess that it's probably from all the exercise that I've been doing. Even with the kayaking, like I said, I don't usually ever paddle out this far from where I started. I actually have to think of where I started so I know how to get back. I'm pretty sure I know where to go. Yeah, I don't know. I lost 8 pounds, so that's nice, but I still weigh like way more than I used to. And but I just loosened the life jacket, whatever, put it on, like, don't care as much, like, angles right now. My focus right now is just not dropping my phone in the water. I know my hat is not, like, perfectly, like, centered and stuff, and I just don't give a shit, because I just want to not get sunburnt and keep my hat on my head and not drop anything else in the water. But I walked down to the dock, he gave me the oar, and I don't know what he said, but I told him, like, I haven't been here in 2 years. And he's like, welcome back. I'm like, thanks. Like, that means a lot. I said last time I was here, I had just found out I had breast cancer. And now I'm back. It was more for me to say that out loud than to entertain him at all. But I put my feet, sat on the dock, put my feet in the kayak. He held it pretty stable, so I didn't have to worry too much. And then I shimmied my butt and got in here. And what's funny is, I remember these kayaks, like, they're open, you need sunblock. The last time I have been kayaking, pretty much this summer, I've been going to a different spot, which is a pond. It's pretty big, but it's a pond. And the last time I met with the oncology psychologist, I said to him, like, I'm just not even finding joy in kayaking at the pond anymore. And I used to like it. Like, there's nature and stuff there, and I just don't get why I don't find joy in stuff anymore. And I said, you know, there was this duck, and I'm like, I didn't even know where to go. So I just started following the duck. And now it's like this expression thing. It's like a Jen meme about following the duck. And there's a thing with Boston with ducks anyway. Like, they make way for ducklings thing, and the ducks are in the public garden, or Boston Common, one of the two. I think they're in the public garden. And he said, like, it's okay if you just follow the duck, you know. And all I do is just, like, follow the duck, not scare it. And then when I got in my kayak today, I hope that you can see this without me dropping the phone, there's this duck sticker on my kayak. I hope that you can see that. It's right there. Yeah, there's this duck sticker on the top of my kayak. There are not usually stickers on kayaks. So no matter where I go, I'm following the duck because it's on the front of my kayak. And as I say that, the sun's coming out, so I'm gonna sign off from here. Give you one last look around here because it's just really pretty. And I don't know what, like, sage words of advice I have for you too. It's just, I don't want things to slow me down, yet I know that I'm not going to be, like, functioning at the speed that I used to be at, because it was exhausting. And cancer makes you slow down, that's for sure. And give yourself a break, that it's okay to slow down, and you don't have to run around like a chicken with your head cut off all the time, or a duck with your head cut off all the time. I don't know what that would look like with a duck with its head cut off. Oh, big waves. I really should turn my boat because I'm facing the wrong way to be, like, having waves coming at me. You hear it? It's just very peaceful. I think I'm going to go and do a 60 seconds of Zen on my Instagram page. Oh, that has nothing to do with the cancer thing, but I do have an Instagram page. I feel like I sometimes refer to it, but it's not because of the cancer thing. My Instagram page is because of Neighbors to Know. That's a talk show that I did. I don't know if that's past tense yet or not, because I still have some in the works, but I haven't done them in a while. So if you go to Neighbors to Know on Instagram, I do these 60 seconds of Zen videos, like when I'm in a place that's super chill. And that way if other people are stressed out or whatever, they can just like take a look and join me in my 60 seconds of Zen place. Holy cow, is it hot down here. My purse is like burning. Alrighty, so yeah, that's where I'm going to leave you. So 2 years, I can't say 2 years cancer-free yet because my surgery wasn't until August, but 2 years since diagnosis is a lot to process. It's when your whole life just changes. And I'm proud of myself for all that I've been through for these 2 years. And I don't know where things will go. I just have to, enjoy the ride, enjoy the waves, see where stuff takes me, because some of it's in my control and a lot of it's just not. So I'm gonna enjoy the sounds of the water, kayak around some more, and yeah, just chill out and let the waves take me where they do. Alright everyone, have a happy day.